Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? Tyler here with your Movie Fix, and we're going to be going over some movie news today, but you already know that. Got a couple of stories that are bigger than others. We're going to be covering things from the Suicide Squad box office tracking to some Alien and Alien Covenant news, and even some Marvel Cinematic Set Photos. So let's get started with that. The first story of today, we're going to be jumping into the Suicide Squad box office tracking. Now it's looking pretty good. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that it's going to be opening around 125 million. Now that's subject to change, as is any box office opening, but that's a pretty good number for something like Suicide Squad, which is a smaller, unknown property. We say that, that Suicide Squad is a more unknown property, but you look at something like Guardians, which think of all the hype that was built up to that movie before its release, and look at Suicide Squad, which when they released that first trailer, that thing had more views than the first Batman v Superman trailer, which is insane. That's crazy, just for a movie with Harley Quinn and the Joker. That's pretty crazy. But as far as what we're going to be looking at with the box office, I think if this movie does pretty good with the critics initially, I'm hoping to get some reviews earlier than Dawn of Justice did. I hope that they kind of learn and have a little more confidence in showing this movie to some audiences. I know they've been doing test screenings for a while. A friend of mine has seen it, and he's promised a lot of great things coming from the movie, so that's really exciting to hear. But I want this to do around Deadpool numbers or possibly even better. I hope that this movie is received and in the long run kind of performs similarly to Guardians of the Galaxy. I just want this movie to be a hit. I want it to be a bona fide, guaranteed, universally loved movie. That's what DC needs right now. I don't want something controversial. I don't really have many doubts that I'm going to enjoy this movie, but I want it to be big. I want it to open well. I want this movie to do well. So, comment your thoughts down below. What do you make of the $125 million opening? I think it could go over that. I think we could actually see a number more like $150 million, especially with the way it's been trending in social media. It's been going up like crazy, even higher than like Ghostbusters and Star Trek, which is coming out pretty next week. That's pretty crazy for a movie that doesn't even come out for another 3 weeks or so. So yeah, what do you think of this Suicide Squad box office opening? Next up, this is a pretty interesting one. Matt Damon had an interview recently, and he had this to say on the idea of joining Ben in a superhero movie. Now he says, if Ben was directing me, I'd jump on it in a New York minute. I'd love to work with Ben. The problem with Ben is every time he directs a movie, he gives himself the best role in it. So until he's willing to give up the best role to one of his friends, we're going to get on with it. So, this is really just some friendly comments. I wouldn't take too much credence to it, but it's pretty reassuring to hear that he would like to work with him. But, when you have your best friend in Hollywood, who is now one of these acclaimed directors, acclaimed actor, he is Batman. Your best friend's Batman. He's directing Batman. Why would you not want to jump in on that fun? I could totally see him doing going into Batman. And in one of my videos, I did a fan cast. I'd still like to see Matt Damon as Hush. But, Matt Damon is such a likable guy. He's so charismatic. Would he maybe be a better fit for someone like Harvey Dent, another Two-Face? He could kind of play that duality really good, so maybe that's something I'd like to see. Can anyone remember those crazy rumors about Matt Damon joining in Dawn of Justice as Aquaman way before we heard anything about Jason Momoa? There was rumors that Matt Damon would be Aquaman purely because Ben was going to be Batman. Pretty crazy. Don't really care about seeing him as Aquaman, although that would not have been terrible whatsoever. But what do you make of Matt Damon teasing the idea of joining, Ben Affleck in a Batman movie, a superhero movie? He's obviously not going to direct anything other than Batman. No way in hell is he going to do a DC movie, anything other than Batman. But what would you like to see Matt Damon doing if he was to join him? Next up, this is something that I've really been wanting to talk about. Some more news on Alien and Alien Covenant. That's going to be the one that Ridley Scott is doing, Alien Covenant, and Neil Blomkamp's Alien, which is going to be the sequel to Aliens, basically. Now, this is an interview with Neil Blomkamp and Sigourney Weaver, so this is what Neil had to say. My favorites are the first two movies, so I want to make a film that's connected to Alien and Aliens. That's my goal. I'm not trying to undo Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection. I just wanted to be connected to Alien 1 and 2. Now, he's kind of going to contradict himself later on in this interview about not wanting to undo them, which I don't know that you can make a sequel to Aliens without undoing Alien 3, considering it takes place immediately after. Unless they kind of change the canon of it and maybe there's a lot more time in between Aliens and Alien 3 than we maybe thought. And this is what Sigourney Weaver had to say. Well, we have a great script. Fox asked us to delay Ridley Scott could shoot his second Prometheus movie. That was too bad because we could have already done it by now. Now that we're waiting for that, I have a couple of Avatars to do, and Neil has The Gone World. So we'll have to see what happens when we get back and where those projects are over. I'm glad that Sigourney still has the enthusiasm to to do these alien movies and play as Ripley because I really love her. She's one of my favorite characters of all time. Both the first two Aliens movies are among my favorite sci-fi and horror movies. So I want to see them go back to those roots. And continuing on with this interview, she had to say, "It's a great story and it's satisfying to me to give this woman an ending. The script itself has so much in it that's so original, but also really satisfies the, I would say, the primal needs of the alien. It's a tribute to all of the great work that the other directors have done in a way, but goes in a completely new direction. I hope we'll do it." See, that's to me what just contradicts what he had to say about not wanting to undo Alien 3. I mean, how can you not? If they say they're going to give like an ending to Ripley's character, I'm not really sure, where they can go. I, for one, am okay if they kind of overwrite Alien 3 and Resurrection. I find some joy in those movies because I like the franchise quite a bit, but Alien 3 is easily David Fincher's worst movie. I think it was his first full-length movie that he did, and it kind of shows. I think what mostly killed that movie for me were the awful, CG that they tried to use. It was like a 2D paper alien, like moving across the screen sometimes, I swear. And that kind of killed me, but the movie itself was kind of strange, Alien 3. And Resurrection is so far into the future, and it's not even really Ripley, that I think that, that one doesn't even matter. You could do anything in between 3 and 4. But as of doing 2 and 3, what's going to go on in between there, who knows? But if they say they're going to be giving Ripley an ending, I don't really know what they can do with that. So I'm guessing they're going to have to override Alien 3, and that's okay with me. So what do you guys make of this? And continuing on with the Alien trend, we have here Danny McBride, who is in Alien Covenant. He did a recent interview. Now, he's more of a comedic actor, so it's really cool to see this interview. I got the script, and I'm like, shit, this is dark. There's no comic relief in this at all. This is a dark horror movie. That was exciting to be able to step into something like that and participate in a way with not relying on things that I'd done before. And he's the pilot of the spaceship Covenant, which is a colonization ship searching for a planet where we might start life anew. Now, Danny McBride, like I said, is more of a comedic actor, so getting to see him into something like the sequel to Prometheus and this drenched in this world of the aliens, that's going to be really cool. I was a big fan of Prometheus. I know that movie can be a little polarizing. I liked what they did because I can accept that it's just a new thing in the lore of aliens with the engineers, that it wasn't necessarily all about the xenomorph. But everything that we've been hearing about Covenant, we're going to be seeing more of the xenomorphs. That's what we want to see. So that's pretty cool. And to hear that they're going back to the roots, that this is going to be a dark horror movie. Like, this shit is scary. Nobody's playing around. This isn't comedy. I like that because I think that vibe was a little more present in Prometheus. I think Prometheus was a lot more like the first two Alien movies, and seeing Ridley Scott continue on with that, his last hit was The Martian, so hopefully he's kind of found his stride again. I've personally been a big fan of Ridley Scott. I haven't seen everything of his, but I've liked pretty much everything I've seen of his. So going back to those roots of it being a horror movie, I am 100% on board. Can't wait to see Alien Covenant. Probably in my top 5 most anticipated for next year. So yeah, can't wait to see what's going on with that. This is really assuring. What do you make of all this Alien news? And in the world of some smaller news, we have some Marvel Cinematic Universe set photos. We have Tom Holland as Spider-Man in New York. I got to see him like taking out a guy on a bike, and also some Thor Ragnarok set photos of them just showing the practical sets that they're building, which is all really cool. I don't know what to make of the Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. I think it looked good in Civil War. I don't know how much of it was practical in CG. The up-close shots that were practical looked very felty. Looked like it was made of like a red felt, which that looked really good. But these set photos, they're just not flattering. I don't think really any set photos of any character in a costume ever look all that great. So that's not the end of the world. I'm okay with that. I'm really waiting for a trailer on that, but the set photos are nothing crazy. That's good that they're filming it practical in the streets of New York. That's all great. And the sets that they're building over in Thor Ragnarok, that looks really great. I'm looking forward to that. I was, again, one of the people that was a fan of Thor: The Dark World. I think we just know what to expect now with a Marvel movie. But something like Thor Ragnarok featuring the Hulk. This is Ragnarok. This is the fall of the gods. This is the fall of Asgard. This better be a big, heavy movie. I want to see some stakes. I want to see a lot of big action going on there. I think it's going to deliver. I think Thor Ragnarok's going to be really cool, so I can't wait to see that. So just some minor news over there in Marvel. Anyways, guys, comment your thoughts down below on all of this news. What do you make of all of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and let's discuss down below. So, guys, this has been your Movie Fix. Be sure to subscribe for more movie news, movie reviews, and reactions, stuff like that. I'll see you on the next video.